Carolyn asks, what do you add to your fondant, or this might be do you add anything to your fondant to make it cover a cake smoothly?
No, we don't add anything. We do use satinized fondant. Color it. We use their pre-colored fondants and mix our own shades from it. If the fondant is a little bit dry, you can add a little bit of water and shortening into it. If it's a little bit too wet, you can use a little powdered sugar. Some people like cornstarch. I prefer powdered sugar to cornstarch to help prevent from sticking. But one of the keys is to roll your fondant nice and thin, and to make sure the cake that you're fondanting is cold, and the buttercream underneath it is nice and hard, and it makes it much easier to cover your cake.
Okay, great. All right, Vicky asks, what type of scalpel do you use and where do you buy them?
We use mostly just X-Acto knives that you can get at a craft store. Or sometimes just if it's not a real intricate detail, we'll use just a paring knife or a pizza cutter.
Okay. Yeah, those paring knives with the sharp tip, they usually work just fine.
They work pretty well,
For mostly,
Yeah, and the X-Acto knives, you can get like the self-healing mats to cut on them from Michael's or something, and those work really well also, so that you don't ding up your table that you're cutting on.
There you go. Nice. Okay. Let's see. This is a whole nother class. But
okay.
Jennifer asks, I love your cakes. How do you get such crisp top edges on your cake? Mine are never that sharp.
You gotta buy my DVD.
Exactly. It's in your 101, right? Or is it in your 102?
For the buttercream is 101, yeah.
101. Okay, so yeah.
I mean, basically, it is a kind of a long answer. I don't think I could even answer it in one question. But it is a lot of, we sort of go over the cake over and over with buttercream in and out of the freezer is a short answer. So it's not the kind of thing that's a quick thing to do. So if you're
definitely, I would suggest the DVD.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's not the easiest thing to get down. So having a DVD where you can watch it over and over again and practice along with it, that's probably your best bet.
Yeah, and don't get frustrated because it does take a while to sort of get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But once you get it, you're like, oh.
Yeah, once you do, you're just like, oh, cool, I did it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone asks about isomalt. Do you know much about isomalt?
So yeah, we do use isomalt when we do our pork sugar. We always use isomalt. It's much easier to work with because it's not quite as volatile as sugar. It doesn't turn to caramel as quickly. And so it's pretty easy to use. You only have to use a little bit of water with it to cook it. You don't have to start from a full like wet sand kind of thing. And it just seems to be a little easier to work with. We use it for like poured sugar, wine bottles, and that kind of stuff. But we don't do a ton of isomalt.
Okay. This person is she is talking about her isomalt melting after a while. Do you ever have that problem?
Well, I mean, a few things to keep in mind with isomalt for sugar at all is sugar is hydrophilic, all sugar. So you definitely don't want to refrigerate it. If you put it in the refrigerator, it will get sticky and gross. If it's anywhere near any moisture, it will melt. One of the problems you might be having is that you might not be cooking it to a high enough temperature. You want to make sure that, I forget the exact temperature now off the top of my head, but you can like Google, look online and see what temperature to cook it to. Because if you cook it a little bit too low, it doesn't have that hard crack stage, and then it does melt quicker. So that might be part of the problem.
Okay, good tip. Thank you. Okay. Here's another kind of a personal one. She asks, absolutely love your cakes. My question is, which cake or type of cakes are your absolute favorites?
Well, Amelia and I were actually talking about this earlier. I like cakes that are sort of different, obviously, than we've done before. It's always a challenge. I personally enjoy animals and things like people or dresses where they're sort of organic, and it's more of a sculpture than like a exact replica. Like my least favorite are like cars and like trains and all that stuff that my son likes.
Things that you have to be really particular about.
Yeah, a little detailed. Like a lot of people like that stuff. It's not my favorite. I'd rather sort of do something where I kind of like throw on a little sash or, sort of be free with it.
Yeah, that's more of a Mike McCary thing, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
With that perfect, making everything measure exactly to scale.
Right.
He's really good at that, by the
He
way.
is very, very, very good at that.
All right. Oh, okay. Someone's asking, what other videos are you going to do? Do you have anything in the works right now?
We have plans to do a few more sort of DVDs and tutorials. One being topsy-turvy cakes. It's one of our most popular requests. Is sort of how to sculpt them and stack them and all that. And possibly some more with more sculpted animals and that kind of stuff. And then possibly in the future doing more sort of figures and more detailed figures as well.
Great. That'll be fun.
I mean, not immediately, so
Yeah.
but in the
Just
next
watch
year.
for them.
Yeah.
Just watch for them.
Not next
We'll
week.
actually have a link to your website so that you
Okay,
can,
great.
so that everyone can go and follow. And I guess you have a place where you can actually sign up to get updates and things like
Yes,
that, right?
we have. Yeah, when we're sort of getting ready to launch things, we'll put up a thing, and you can get an email alert when it comes out.
Perfect. All right. Here's a really good one. Sarah asks, well, she says at the beginning, but you're such a successful businesswoman. How do you balance this and your family? Do you have any tips for the other moms out there? I know that's a really big one because a lot of us are moms.
Yes, it's sort of a joke I have with my husband. I'm like, that I'm like, women, we run the house, we run the kids, we run the business. I mean, not that our husbands don't do things, but
Of course.
there's a lot of pressure on us. I think.
Yeah.
I think you need to ask for help. I have an assistant. She also helps actually watch my son 3 days a week. My mom helps out. I think that you have to let go also a little bit, and I have a great staff here at the shop because I'm not here as much. So I think the biggest transition for me was sort of letting go of some of the aspects of the business and, trusting people to deal with customers and trusting people to sort of manage your staff more. Because if you can't do everything and something's going to give, and to me, my family is obviously the most important thing. So, that comes first. And then you have to make sure that you have, good people in place so that, you can step away and things will continue to run smoothly. I think that's sort of, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm sure most of people that are watching are too. So it's hard sometimes to let go and be, the control. You want control, but as I'm getting older, I'm learning more easily that it doesn't really matter as much. So I think you got to choose your battles and kind of focus on what's most important to you.
I think as cake decorators, that's probably the most important thing is to be able to learn to let some things go, because I think a lot of us are. I know I am.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Let's see. Sherry asks, have you seen a new upcoming trend in wedding cakes this year?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I mean, we're still doing a good amount of ombre. It's still very popular.
Yes.
And we're doing it in different ways. We're doing it inside the cake, like different cake layers. We're doing it outside the cake. We're doing it on cupcake stands. We're doing it even with just like floral arrangements. So I definitely see a lot of different textures being used, whether it's, sort of like a burlap is very popular, or whether we're using, texture to mimic banding on dresses, or certain ribbons and stuff like that. We see a lot of that, and we're still using a good amount of color. People are, we still have our market for the classic white wedding cake, but a lot of people are sort of departing that and going with more fun and bright colors.
That is fun. Is there a most popular color?
We're seeing. I think last year what the Pantone was orange. We're seeing a lot of orange this year. I think this year it's green. We've gotten a few things for green too. I think orange, green, a lot of purples being used this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Okay. We will probably take just one more question. Let's see. Oh, here's one that refers back to your little lion. Let's see. Debbie asks, can you make the lion with fondant, and would you need to add Tylos?
You can. One of the things with fondant is that the bodies tend to settle more easily than with gum paste. If you are going to use fondant, I would definitely recommend using Tylos. Some people do even mix gum paste with fondant, half and half. You could probably get away with it for this, but just watch out because you want to try to make the body a little smaller, maybe because as he dries, he'll kind of settle and get these weird like lines in his belly.
Okay, great. I do have to add in one more question because I thought it was a fun one.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Do you often have to redirect your clients to make a different cake and filling choice based on their design? Or do you feel like you have to, do you feel like you ever want to or need to redirect their design or their,
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I think both choices. I've had people who have requested the most bizarre flavor combinations, and I have to say to them, listen, like it's not going to work for your group of people that are not going to enjoy this flavor. Or if they want a really crazy structural design and they want like mousse or something really soft inside, I'll say no, it has to be buttercream because it won't stand up. And then for design, people sometimes have ideas of what they want to look good, or they're so scatterbrained that they like 50 different cakes and they want to like merge them all into one, and you have to sort of have them focus on what their favorite part of which cake is, and then we kind of go from there. So I think that's part of one of the biggest struggles is that you want to make the customer happy, but you also want the cake to reflect your aesthetic style. So you don't want it to be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know that there are some people that come, it's their daughter's 16th birthday or something, and they have like 50 different things that they want to incorporate.
Right. Yes.
And, how do you incorporate all of those things?
I think when you're doing like a sweet 16 cake, you have a little more liberty to be a little crazy because it's a fun, whimsical, young, youthful kind of thing. And a lot of times, a lot of our cakes I'll see on our website will have like a crazy, bright, topsy-turvy cake, and we'll have like a crazy amount of stuff thrown on it, like ice skates and starbursts and computers and all the stuff that they love. And in that area, I think that you can sort of it works, but for more sophisticated people, adults, you don't want to do that. We try to make them focus on one or two of their favorite items. We just recently put up a cake on the blog, and the husband's 60th birthday, and I think he was in the Navy, and he was a firefighter, and he loved baseball and bowling and all these things. And we finally kind of targeted down, and we did a fire hydrant on like a Navy hat, and then the board was a baseball. And so it worked, but it wasn't like too much stuff. So I think it's sort of trying to get people to focus on the most important aspects.
Wonderful. Well, I know we have a bunch of more questions, so we always do. I think we got to quite a few today, so that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to, we want to talk about things that are up and coming for you. Okay. So you have an actual physical class that you're going to be teaching coming up.
Yes.
Is this a physical class?
It is a physical class at my shop in Denville. The actual date hasn't been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the end of April. It'll probably be announced this week. So there is a spot on the Pink Cake Box U to get notified when it's posted, and there's pictures and everything, and it's going to be kind of a fancy 12-inch tall. We're calling it a Gibson Girl kind of figure modeling class. A little more advanced, more facial features and hand painting is going to be taught, as well as sort of ruffle designs and everything for a fancy dress. So it's going to be a great class.
Sounds like it. So if you're in the area or feel like you can travel to that area in April, so just watch for you should just run over to the website, to Anne's website, and sign up for her updates, and then you'll know when things are going to be happening. Yeah, great.
And the craftsy figure modeling class also is launched.
Yeah, so the craftsy figure modeling class has just come out not too long ago, right?
Right, last week, yeah.
Last week, perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much, Anne, for coming on.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you've just got that, spunky fun personality, and I'm sure that's why you do so well with your cakes and with your business and all of that. So
thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you everybody that listened in. And I guess we'll see you. We're actually working on making these CakeFu classes every week instead of every other week now. So we are working away. So I hope you guys can join us next time. For those of you that a few weeks, I guess it's been a month or two back, Paul Joachim was on, and it didn't record, and so a lot of you missed the training. And so we are actually going to have him back next week. So yay! Exciting news for that. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we will See you guys all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, did you like what you saw? Are you wanting to learn more? Then click on the link below or press the subscribe button to keep yourself up to date on everything that CakeFu has to offer. Because there's always something to learn in the world of cake decorating.